Hi, it's Laura at Reading 18 Tarot and Books. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. Welcome or welcome back. I am here with a unboxing and first impressions, something that I haven't done for quite a long time. But I received a new deck yesterday morning, and I thought that I would share my first impressions with you. So I haven't gone through this deck yet. I did cut open the packaging. This deck is a secondhand deck that was very kindly sent to me by another member of the tarot community. So thank you so much for that. It's been on my wish list for some time, and I recently saw an interview conversation with the artist of this deck on Kasha of Tarot Maps channel, so I'll link that conversation in the description box below. So this is the Magical Nature Tarot. And before I get into the unboxing, I'll just read a little section from the website of what really interested me the most about this deck. So, in part, the website, which is magicalnaturetarot.com, reads, each card is a collage using bits of natural ink, monotypes, and natural dye eco prints, and a little bit of natural ink painting too. And the artist of the deck is Jory Morgan, and Rebecca Guanzone has created guidebook content as well. And the guidebook is virtual. The website goes on to say that Magical Nature Tarot decks are printed on eco-herbage cardstock, a sustainable form of paper made from herbaceous plants such as grass and leafy parts of plants used for pasturage. The box is printed on 100% recycled paper. Both the deck and box are printed with mostly soy-based inks and coated with a water-based varnish at a facility in China that is committed to ethical work practices and environmental sustainability. QR code cards are printed on paper made from recycled t-shirts. So it really appeals to me as a druid in particular when this level of thought goes into the production of a deck. When the production of the deck is done in an ecologically mindful way. And I was interested in, checking out a deck with this eco-herbage cardstock because I have encountered the cardstock before in one of these packages. This is a package of sample cardstock that you can get from Make Playing Cards. So they send a few of each different cardstock that they have as an example. And they did include this E27 eco-herbage cardstock as a sample. And hopefully you'll be able to see this on the camera. It has a kind of texture to it, certainly. It's not perfectly smooth, but you can kind of see, it's not perfectly one color, we'll say. It's like a little bit flecked. It looks natural and it feels wonderful. I am hoping that the next deck that I make on Make Playing Cards, I design around it being on this paper. So I was really keen to see what a whole deck would be like. And I'm very excited to find out and to share those thoughts with you. So, zoom out a smidge. So, Magical Nature Tarot by the Sync Spirit Collective. And the Sync Spirit Collective, this speaks to the artist Jory Morgan working with spirit guides in the creation of this deck. So this is the box that is eco-friendly tuck box, and it feels really nice. It feels really soft. I'm really excited. Okay, so I don't know what order, if ordered, these cards are in. It feels really nice. It feels really nice. The wands are together. Okay. The wands are together. The cups are together. I would like to do the majors first. The swords are together. And then Pentacles and the majors are in here somewhere. Okay. Let's like have a look. Okay. So the cardstock is really nice. And it says that there is a coating on them. It almost feels like there isn't. They just feel so natural and lovely. And the backs are really nice. And I already think that this would look really good with Dana O'Driscoll's Tree Lore Oracle, which is eco-printed. Because I feel like there's going to be some palette similarity between those decks. And I really like that deck, so. So the Fool is kind of falling backwards in this image, and the colors are amazing. They're earthy and deep, really pretty. Magician. I don't mind the big border. I don't think that the top is necessarily needed on these majors because they seem to be numbered in the artwork. But there's a real depth to this. I say, and have said, I don't say frequently, but I've certainly mentioned that collage is not my go-to. And it's true. Collage is not my go-to. But this I really, really like. This is like, has depth in a way that feels like you can see which pieces of paper are on top of which other pieces of paper, which I think is really interesting. I like that as an emperor. I also like that there's a range of skin tones in this deck. There is a range of body shapes in this deck. I love this. Lovers. How beautiful is that? I don't even know if this will come across on camera, but like the outline of the mane on this lion, like it feels like there's real kind of difference in depth between these different pieces that are collaged together to make this image. Like you can almost kind of see the shadow of the higher, like more recently added pieces being cast across the pieces below, which I think is just a really cool effect. These are, I knew that these would be really cool. I knew that I would like this. I like it even better in person. Look at that tiny hermit in the corner beside the great big moon. I knew that I would like this, and I like it very much. I really like this as a Wheel of Fortune because this is a wheel that one steers, but it's also one that, you know, can spin out of the captain's control, right? So I think that it can go different ways in the reading in ways that I like. I like that hand clasped for justice. So I have seen a walkthrough of this. You know, so I knew, for example, that this would be the suspended one. That's cool. That's very cool. This flower above the skeleton's head is interesting. I like this devil. There's something fun about this. Yeah, that's cool. I like the fire. I apologize. Someone is mowing the lawn outside. Not, someone's mowing a lawn outside. I hope that you can hear me over that. This is an interesting tower. This feels almost industrial. This to me is interesting as a tower in a specifically environmentalist tarot deck, in that this feels like pollution to me, which I think is interesting. And I'm not sure if that was the intent or not, because I haven't looked at the online content, but that's what it feels like to me. This is beautiful. I like that the person is in the water. And I like with these figures, I feel like with this, there's room for a lot of kind of gender presentation ambiguity because of the way that the people are represented in this deck, which is interesting. Moon. Actually, I want to look at that closer. That, like, look at the textures in this fur. That's amazing. I want to watch this deck being made. I like this judgment card, and I don't usually like a judgment card. I like that. And the world, this one is the one that is on the box. Okay, suits. So the suits are traditionally named, but the courts I know are not. Okay. We'll go through. I'll show all the cards. Yeah, here, why not? Ace of Wands. I like this this burst of magical spell fire happening at the end of the wand. I think that that's fun. Two. It's a different kind of pose than you usually see in a Two of Wands, but I like that. This is interesting as a Four of Wands because the cups are so prominent, but there are wands up here at the top, you can see. Like, if the number was different, this could totally be maybe a Three of Cups, but I like that. It brings a kind of joyfulness that can be in a Four of Wands as well. Like, so a lot of the figures, you know, they don't really have detailed faces, but some of them do. This one feels victorious. As a Six of Wands. That's an interesting Eight of Wands. I wonder what they say about this. Microphone there. So there's 6 wands up here, and then you've got 2 making the mic stand there. And the way that their hand, like, they've got fire here, this feels like they're giving like a fiery, passionate speech about something important. Maybe on a somewhat kind of improvised stage. Maybe it's a poem. Like, there's a lot that could convey. It's an interesting Nine of Wands too. I don't know about the font. That's a very small enjoyable. I don't know about the font. The font feels like too tidy or something. I don't know. Like it's legible. I don't hate it. I just, yeah, I don't even know what I would say otherwise, but I don't know about that font. So Apprentice would be the page. Seeker the knight. I like how active that one is. Like Seeker could be a lot of things, but that feels like a very kind of active, fiery one, so I like that. Mentor. And Ancestor. So I am just assuming, because of the order that the rest of the cards are placed in, that then Mentor would correspond to Queen and Ancestor would correspond to King, which is interesting as a set of names. I like that. I think I like that. Yeah, I like it. I like these titles. Cups. Ace of Cups. I like that there's two hands offering the cup rather than it coming in from the side. There's something nice and symmetrical and satisfying about that. I like that. The Two of Cups has like a hint of temperance in it, I think. The Three of Cups. So like similar feel to the Four of Wands, actually. But obviously there's no wands in this one. And there's a title on it, so. Ooh, so something I'm just noticing. Something I'm just noticing is the wands, the font is red, and in the cups, it's a dark blue. That is a nice touch. That blue is almost like my current favorite fountain pen ink that I've ever had is the Samara Seaside Blue, which is Sailor Kobe. And it is a kind of a greeny blue dark color like this. Oh, I like that. Okay. I'm going to look ahead. Okay, so the swords, the font is kind of gray, and the pentacles, it's brown. And the majors, it's probably black, but to my eye, there's a hint of purple actually in that. So that is a cool, that's a cool touch. That's a very cool touch. These colors, I think, could feel muted. You know, using the natural dyes, you're not going to get this like really, really neon, bright colors. That's a nice kind of way of color coding in a subtle way that doesn't disrupt this. Four of Cups. That's an intense image. That Five of Cups. This is a very different angle for a Seven of Cups, which is interesting. These cups feel a lot more tangible than I feel like the Seven Cups and the Seven of Cups often feel. They can feel very kind of spectral or something, floating up in the air in a kind of theoretical, possible sort of a way. These feel like realities, different kinds of realities, which is interesting. I really like this. The feet walking away from the cups. There's some really cool perspective in this. I really like this. Oh, I like this Nine of Cups. I don't always love when the Nine of Cups is called like the wish card, but if you're gonna call it the wish card, this is a very good image for that. That's beautiful. Ten of Cups. And I kind of like that there's one person on the Ten of Cups. If you like thinking about 10 as this kind of culmination or kind of finality or fullness of emotion in the cup suit. Like I like that it's not a nuclear family for a change. That's nice. Apprentice of Cups is in a hot tub. The Seeker has the fish cup there. Oh, this is cool. The Mentor is doing some kind of magic, I think, in this image. And the Ancestor. Yep, these are cool. I really like this. I really like this. Okay. Ace of Swords. I do like when the Three of Swords is something else other than this, but it is a Smith-Waite based deck. This is an interesting Four of Swords. It feels a lot less static in some ways with this kind of pose happening. These ones are like, they've got guns. They've got guns in the Five of Swords. Look at this. Well, they went there in terms of what that Five of Swords can signify. It's a conflict. I mean, ideological conflict. I do like when a Seven of Swords is like slightly more neutral than this. I think this definitely leans towards the burglar end of what the Seven of Swords can mean. I mean, I like the image though. I like the image. I like the way that they found different ways to incorporate the pips into the artwork, which I think are interesting. There's like real anguish on that person's face. These colors are really amazing. I don't know if the camera's going to fully illustrate how beautiful these colors are. It's interesting that the apprentice feels like a teacher. In my mind, I feel like because they're a page and they're up there, maybe they're like a TA who's in grad school or something like this. You know, a student who's also maybe teaching for the first time, which feels very relatable to me. I like that a lot. That's an interesting ancestor. The ancestors do feel that little bit more abstract. Like the other three courts, you feel very like scholarly, at home in a kind of scholarly environment. This one feels much more, I don't know what word I want to use, kind of abstract. I like that ace. I like that too very much. I like all the hands in the threes. That's an interesting kind of point of continuity if I laid out all the threes. Like this one has a sense of working together for sure. These are really beautiful. The colors are really, really beautiful in this one. I like that painting. 9. I find it interesting that the bird is the focus in this 9 of Pentacles, like in many ways more than the human. And I like how close up it is. Like the lushness of the plant feels really focal in ways that it doesn't always in the 9 of Pentacles, which I think is cool. This feels like, like a fortress or something, looking out over the water. It's interesting, it's another 10 that typically depicts a family, and in this one, it's one individual. I really like the textures in this. And I feel like this is a kind of, this feels to me, it's like not like they just chose the most eco-friendly paper they could after they had already done all of the design work. Like it feels like this artwork was designed with this paper in mind. Like it looks at home on this paper. I feel like the interesting kind of textural features of this paper, if I had just put my photographic Ogam deck on it, for example, like those features would be completely lost. And here they're really part of the experience and part of the art. I really like this young knight with a snail. Mentor. An ancestor. So this kind of has a feeling of someone like laying down in the landscape to me, but also like it's the earth, right? As an ancestor, which I think is really beautiful. My first impressions are that this deck is great. I'm really happy and excited. I was at Reader's Studio in April, and a lot of our workshops in that, were a little bit more, I would say, oriented towards Smith-Waite system than anything else. Like there was a couple of sessions that definitely, I think, presumed that that's what you would be using. And I've been reading a lot of pips lately, or like other kinds of decks that are not Smith-Waite. But being there just kind of rejuvenated my Smith-Waite system interest and brought this deck as a wish list deck back into my mind. And I'm so glad, because this is great. It does have a bit of a, it makes that little bit of a snappy sound when you do it, but it shuffles very well. And I'm surprised at myself, to be honest, that I have shuffled this many times and not, and not fucked it up even though I'm shuffling on camera. That doesn't usually happen. So, my camera has told me that I've been shuffling for too long. So, just to lay out a few cards. Really nice, I think. Really, really beautiful. So, my first impressions are that this deck is lovely. And I cannot wait to use it and to do some Oracle deck pairings. Instinctively, the Tree Lore Oracle is the first one that comes to mind just in terms of aesthetic, but also in terms of collage. Decks like this, I think that the Illuminated Earth would maybe look really cool with this. Yep. Love it. So, my first impressions of the Magical Nature Tarot are that it is an absolutely beautiful deck, and I can't wait to use it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye.